Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Cleveland Browns. This is fielded at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. First carry now for Nick Chubb. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Back to throw here. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
The Browns send out their punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 16. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Now the first carry for an Ohio native. It's Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. On second down, Elliott. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. He'll drop to throw. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Left side, it's Dorsett. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throw left side complete. That's Hudson. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? He's to the 10, and all the way down to the 5. A good pickup there of 20 yards. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Now Elliott. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. Zuerlein connects on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. He'll look to throw. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. So on comes Cairo Santos now for the field goal try. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And did he have enough? He did. He kept it on line and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. They start on the ground with Elliott. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
And he slides to avoid the hit. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Steps away to his left and avoids the contact by sliding.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll drop the throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. He'd had some success as a runner previously on this drive, just not as much space there that time.
Yeah, this time when he pulled it down, they were ready for him, so I think he's going to have to fling a few in order to open up that running lane again.
They'll pitch it out to Elliott. Stays on his feet, and he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Taco Charlton in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
A minute 59 to go in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. Seventh play in this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Gone, 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 gone.
They'll set up a throw. Able to shake him off. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up fourth.
Yeah, and that play was pretty well doomed right from the start. The pressure was really affecting him. Collapsed everything in the pocket. He had to move around, try to get it downfield. Incomplete.
Our first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from Green Bay. And that one is now a 2-touchdown lead for the Packers. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on that one as we go along here. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get nothing out of that one. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Back to throw. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Leopard! Leopard! Detroit! Detroit!
They'll give to Elliott, and he'll take this one down to the 36. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to rifle, and this is caught. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. In for the score. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Zerline good with a PAT. And the lead is now 17-3. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Browns getting set to go. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
All right, now look at 56.
Looking to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Well, pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
Watch him now, Barney.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes this way down deep into Cleveland territory. It's a big play for the Cowboys on 3rd. And even 60 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10.
All right, now look at 56. Lucky 56. Gone.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, second and goal. They'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. It's their quarterback. His second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Now Zerline on to add the extra point. Zerline connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Zerline good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. They'll look to throw here. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls, as we saw there. They're not.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
They go play action here on first down. Flush to his right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10. 10th carry now for Elliott. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Defensively, a dime look here. 6 DBs on 3rd and 12.
No surprise at all.
Now back to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'd open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And now the Browns coming out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
They run again on 1st down, Chubb. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now let's go. 319. 319.
He'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And out now come the Cowboys. They built up that lead at intermission. And they're just continuing to pour it on right now, aren't they?
Locked into a really good groove right now. I don't know if it's just the play calling. I know the execution is really, really sharp right now. And all the playmakers are doing exactly what you expect. They're making plays. And right now, defense has no answer and no chance of catching up.
Now they're just looking to turn anywhere for a stop defensively. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Watch him now, Barney.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll take this one down near the 15. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. They'll set up to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Lucky 56.
And we're back now here in Cleveland. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns, running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone. We saw evidence of that on that play.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, if somebody got to be casualties at times, we're trying to win a game.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
They're going to look to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Handoff comes to Chubb. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Back to throw here. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a 1st down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Set. 319. 319.
Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. He's picked off near his own 48, 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Set. Blue line.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. The 20, 10, and he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed, I did, my good man. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
319. 319.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly. as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Now Landry. Landry, agile footwork. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Levante David. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Dallas, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3.